Hello, welcome to 3 Minute Gaming. I'm Nathan, and I'm going to take up this game is worth your time and bandwidth. Today's game is Bright Memory Infinite. The power trip first-person PC game Bright Memory Infinite has finally expanded beyond PC and is on consoles. Is it worth picking up? Bright Memory Infinite is available on PC, Xbox, PlayStation, and Switch, which is a surprise. Its MSRP is $20, and the game will last you 1 to 2 hours to beat on the standard difficulty. As a full disclosure, a key for the Xbox version of this game was provided by the developer. So what exactly is Bright Memory Infinite? Well, it's a fast-paced, Doom Eternal-esque first-person shooter that also feels a lot like Shadow Warrior 3, with a wide array of powers, mobility options, and melee swordplay that you'll use to obliterate anything that stands in your way. You play as Shelia, in a story that rivals the Transformers movies in pointlessness. Essentially, a black hole is opened and time dilation is doing something, and you gotta kill everybody. Shelia is equipped with a power suit that infuses her with a whole host of abilities. Aside from the typical gunplay, which she has 4 guns in total with alternate firing methods, she also has the ability to both force pull and force push enemies, dash, block bullets with her sword, attack with an electro blade, and do a sort of DMC high time where she slides in and launches enemy in the air following herself. It's worth noting none of these moves technically have cooldowns and are limited only by the recharging power on her suit. I mean, if you want to spam force push, you can, and it's amazing. You unlock more moves as the game progresses as well, such as a ground pound, charge punch, add range to your sword, and so on. Basically, the game wants you to get as overpowered as possible because it's going to throw some crazy stuff at you as it goes along. Early gun enemies are basically fodder, dying to Shelia's powers easily, but later enemies have armor. Armor can be stripped off by either attacking or shooting the enemy, or if you block their attacks at the right time, a big chunk will be removed as well. Knowing what to use against which enemy is important. That isn't to say you won't feel like a god. Once you get the rhythm, you'll be flying across the map, force pulling enemies to you, launching shielded enemies up in the air to expose weaknesses, and so on. Aside from the gunplay, the game does have a single stealth section, which is mostly trial and error, although the enemies are so stupid it's pretty easy, and a short driving section, which is less than 5 minutes long. No, the centerpiece here is definitely the shooting, which you'll get a lot of against both modern and time-warped enemies, as well as 4 bosses. And that's basically the game, a fast-paced, power-filled shooter with some unique locations and great visuals. So what do I like about Bright Memory Infinite? Well, it is a hell of a great power fantasy game. You have not lived until you force-pulled a sniper from a rooftop, jumped in the air and sliced him up, then blasted what's left of him into oblivion with a shotgun. This game feels awesome. Bosses, while there's only really 3 different ones, are surprisingly well designed and engaging, the first one in particular being a great duel. And lastly, powers upgrade quickly and the impact is significant. Pull people from half a mile away so you can shred them, leap in the air and turn a guy into paste, fireball punch an ancient warrior back to the Stone Age. So satisfying. When it comes to the bad, this game is unfortunately insanely short. Right when I was getting into the flow of combat and really having an incredible time, the game was over and had only been an hour and a half. Additionally, I found some bugs with platforming and it can be really frustrating, especially since the game doesn't teach you how to wall run until after you're expected to use it several times. And lastly, the stealth and vehicle sections feel completely out of place and aren't nearly as fun or satisfying as the main game loop, making me wonder why they were here at all. As you know, I rate games here on a 3-point scale: must play, maybe consider, don't bother. This is a maybe consider and definitely a hidden gem, and man, do I really want to give this game a must play, but the under 2 hours playtime was a massive bummer. For 20 bucks, if it had been 6 or even 4 hours long, I'd probably wholeheartedly recommend it, as once you get into this game's flow, feeling like a first-person god has never felt better, and it's an unbelievably satisfying murder power fantasy. Unfortunately, once you start hitting that dopamine, the game is over, and while replaying it works, it's just not the same. At least you can carry your powers over. That being said, if you can get it on sale and you love first-person shooters, absolutely grab it. It is an awesome rush, and it's completely insane one person made it. I just want more. And that's all I have for you today. Thank you so much for watching. If you play Bright Memory Infinite, are you going to check it out after this review? Let me know in the comments. Regardless, be sure to go out there and give it a look.